Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 125 of the Too Sweet Podcast. We got a lot going on today. Summerslam Preview. We're talking AEW Dynamite, Ric Flair. He was in AAA. He was possibly on a train. The Nature Boy. They don't call him the Nature Boy for nothing. We're about to hop into all of that. You can find me at linktr. You can find us, at linktr.ee/2sweetpod and on Twitter as well at 2sweetpod. So, where are we going first? I say let's go ahead and get SummerSlam up out the way. I got Revenant R joining us. Got Marie Shadows in the building. So you guys ready to hop into some SummerSlam? All right. Well, I have an announcement to make. As we hop into SummerSlam, Roman Reigns is no longer my tribal chief. I watched him and Cena, and man, John Cena just destroyed this man on the mic. And I had the nerve to say that Roman Reigns would win a face-to-face battle. We're starting this thing off with Cena Roman. Who you guys got winning? And what did you think about last week?
I have Cena winning because, even though he just came back and obviously he hasn't been putting in the work, but overall he's been the savior of WWE. He hit him with all the facts. Now it's time for Roman to really show Cena that he doesn't need Heyman and he doesn't need the Usos when he go one-on-one.
Right.
I think that it would be beneficial if Heyman does not accompany Roman to the ring and or the Usos, accompany Roman to the ring so that Roman, if he does win, it will be a legit win and it will be like, well, Cena, you still talk that same shit 10 years ago, but I'm a whole different Roman Reigns and this is why. But I'm still going to be pulling for John Cena.
All right. John Cena to break the record, huh?
I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it. I wasn't okay with it before. Like, if you would have asked me a couple years ago about this, I would have been like, no, Ric Flair is the be-all, end-all of being 16-time world champ. But I'm okay with it now. I'm
not gonna lie. Let Ric Flair have it. Let Nietzsche have it. That's how I feel on it. Revenant, what you got, man?
Man, I got Cena winning that.
Really? Wow.
I got John winning because honestly, the dude has been working he's been working his ass off.
Yes.
Since 2002, and being in Hollywood hasn't really dust off the cobwebs for him. But at least he can still back it up.
Oh yes. Still big match, John. Still big match. So you got Cena winning. For me, man, I got the formal tribal chief winning this match, man. I think Roman, I'm gonna get ready for the fall and the winter of Roman because I think he gonna hold on to this thing all the way to WrestleMania next year. That's what I think's going down.
That's the plan, though.
Yep.
Which might be unfortunate because I'm one of those viewers that love stories and love a good chase. This obviously needs something fresh to make sure that Roman is everything that he says. That when Heyman is there, you mean it and you feel it. That he is your tribal chief, right? So imagine if he did lose to Cena, the belt, and then all of a sudden chases Cena and gets the belt back. It'll mean that much more, only because you know that Roman can now compete on the level that WWE wants him to, and it's not just a WWE cookie cutter per se,
Right. I agree with that, and the only problem I would have is the Ric Flair thing. That's it. Nevertheless, we move on to Goldberg versus Lashley, and man, people were hyping this up to be Lashley and Lesnar. Like, we already had that penciled in. I guess Brock was like, nah, I'm good. So we got Goldberg. And who you guys got winning in this one?
Lashley.
Yeah, I'm down with that as well. Like Goldberg.
I was gonna say, sorry to cut you off, but I want Lashley to win only because like it'll be interesting to see if Big E will cash in on Lashley, or if Goldberg wins, Big E could cash in on Goldberg as well. But I, in my heart, want Lashley. As much as Goldberg is, part of the business, and he made, a name for himself, and he's like, one of. I don't want to say one of the best, but he's out there.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it works unless he's gonna do a full-time schedule rather than a part-time schedule.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. And I gotta say, Big E is not in possession of the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bum Corbin can cash in. If you're looking for a cash in, ma'am, Bum Corbin. That's gonna be your.
Which makes no sense. Did he just steal it from him? He didn't really match, right?
No, he just stole it.
You never signed the contract?
No, it's dumb, but I was killing myself laughing.
Bum-ass Corbin actually stole the Money in the Bank last week from under Big E. I mean, come on now, man. You can't do a brother like that.
And he ran out of there like Usain Bolt. The dude was gone. He was gone.
Even if Big E is a pastor, man, even if you
can't do that, man. You're stealing money. You can't do that.
I mean, Baron Corbin is down on, he's down bad. He's doing whatever he can, but, if he cashes it in, it's going to be like, it's invalid. Are you happy, Big E? Did you get a transformation?
Oh, man, I don't know what's going on with contracts these days. Cena's stealing contracts. He's putting his name on it. Baron Corbin's stealing the Money in the Bank. I don't know. Nevertheless, I got Lashley winning. I'm with y'all. Next up, we got almost a superhero, Nikki versus Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. Man, this build, man. I wanted to give this Nikki thing a chance, but they just have made her so weak rematch after rematch that she loses on the go home show. Who do you guys have winning?
Man, I have Nikki actually winning anyway. I have Nikki winning.
I do too, only on the basis of I don't want to see Rhea with the championship because, ever since she came up from NXT, I think the pressure of being on the main roster has not allowed her to be herself and allow her to bloom into what Rhea Ripley is supposed to be. Because now it feels like a lot more, for her character. So I just can't get behind her. And then obviously, I respect Charlotte, so much, but I just don't want to see her with the belt, right now. She doesn't really need it. She has all the star power from everything else that she does in the scenes. She doesn't need the belt right now. So I think that in order for Nikki to actually get over and accomplish the character that she wants, because this is all on her. It's not even a WWE creative thing, it's a Nikki thing. So let Nikki play out the dream and let her keep the belt and see what happens.
I am with that. Like if you gonna go with Nikki, if you gonna let her live out a character like book her strongly, she has to get the win here, or else this is the big moment for the character. Like if you don't get the win here, there's no need to go back to the character. So I say let her get the win here. I'm with you guys. Nikki wins.
Yeah, I also want to add on too is that this is something different. This is where WWE can take a page from Marvel and DC. Like we had Hurricane. Hurricane was a cool character. We had Mighty Molly, which was a cool character. But like now we have Nikki in 2021 playing a superhero character, and I think you said before that she was losing on the go home shows, right?
Yeah, she lost on the go home show to Rhea Ripley.
Okay, so basically to make her stronger, right? To make her a superhero stronger character, if she keeps losing, it'll be okay because then she could do vignettes of talking to herself and trying to get that self-confidence back. And that could relate to a lot of people out there because sometimes you have to fall like 1,000 times in order to realize that those failings and those fallings help you get to where you're going to. And then it's going to be a bigger payoff. Or we could go the villain way and cause some chaos. And the more losses that she has, she could definitely turn to the dark side and see what we could do. There's a lot of endless possibilities with this, and it's so powerful that I don't want WWE to fail on it. And even if people at live events are booing her, fuck them. Like, this is her thing. Let's see what happens. Let's see which way we can take it.
I'm with that.
Let me say something. Let me say something about that. Now, honestly, everybody's been, going about this whole Nikki ASH thing and giving their 2 cents about this. Like, really, she definitely needs a mentor in the whole superhero game in more ways than one, and that's where Hurricane Shane Helms comes in. Now, that could be a good thing. Now, there needs to be a secret identity to Nikki ASH instead of, just a character.
Right.
There needs to be.
That would be pretty good.
I mean, take, for example, Gregory Helms. Take, for example, exclusive reporter Gregory Helms. He definitely, came out in a good way. Not just with the Hurricane, gimmick, but Hurricane himself, Hurricane Shane Helms, absolutely came out on top when he returned, not just to ECW, but to WWE as a whole, which he's had his stint in wrestling for I don't know how many years, but he's been doing a lot. He's been doing a lot for the wrestling companies, as of his tenure. But everybody knows that he's been remembered as the guy who would make anybody laugh with
Yes, indeed.
Come on. It really makes sense for Shane Helms to put on the mask one more time and help Nikki ASH in becoming a proper superhero.
That would, I wouldn't be against that at all. Nevertheless, Nikki really needs this win, and I guess we'll see how that turns out as we move on to the next women's title match. Sasha Banks, always a villain, versus Bianca Belair. Now I heard a report that they're not 100% sure that this match is going to go down because this match has been pulled from house shows, and for no reason. And that gets you to wondering is there COVID protocols going on? What's happening? I hope it goes down. If it does, you gotta have Bianca Belair win here. I would not hate it if Sasha Banks won, but Bianca Belair is still on the come up, still trying to legitimize her title reign. This is another big moment for her, and I got Bianca. Who you guys got here?
Yeah, I got Bianca too. I think I want more of Sasha chasing Bianca because that's how they're both going to elevate themselves and the division and the belt. If we give it to Sasha, it might take a little bit of downhill, not because of her skill or anything, but because we're riding the Belair momentum so high that it's like, keep it on her for a little while longer.
Yes.
So I have Bianca winning this one.
Okay.
I have Bianca winning as well because honestly, it needs to make sense. And I'm saying this for me because really, it needs to be said. Bianca is, well, she needs this W. She needs this win for so many reasons, because a lot of people will definitely, make sense about it.
Yes.
But yeah, I can understand why people would get annoyed with, Sasha Banks having the championship and everything. But
I think Sasha's at the point where Marie made with Charlotte. Like, Charlotte doesn't need the belt. I think Sasha doesn't really need it as well.
No, God, no. The weird thing is, with Bianca being married to Ken, aka Montez Ford, I love Montez. I love the guy, because really, he's not only entertaining, but he knows how to put on a damn show, man. He knows how to put on a damn show.
You get the fans on their feet.
I mean, literally, with the YouTube stuff, I highly recommend, just checking out some of Bianca's, videos, and that's a shameless plug. So, Bianca, if you watch this, that's a shameless plug in your YouTube channel, and hopefully you win the women's championship again. Hopefully you retain, and best of luck to you.
All right.
I want to add on too that because I just thought of this, right? So you know how like we've been talking about the same women and the same title pictures and stuff like that, and there might be one other factor, like Nikki having the belt, like she's the other factor. But those women tag team titles. I think it's time for like the top women of the company that we keep seeing, like Charlotte and Sasha, should start building up the tag team division, because right now in my head I'm like, we keep talking about the same women every single month when it comes to a pay-per-view. And I think there's a disservice, like, overall, because it's like, how many times as a woman are you going to be women's champion? Why are you not going for tag team? Why are you not trying for something else? Why are you not trying for something fresh? Like, how much longer can you go after one championship title without feeling stale, So I think that if Sasha doesn't get the win here, turn Sasha over to the tag team department, get her with a good woman that can match her energy and stuff, and take over the tag team division.
Yeah,
not just that, but come on, man. If you were to have two out of the other two of the four horsewomen, you would have Charlotte and Sasha. Make sense of it all. But not only that, but come on, really, it makes sense, because we really need fresh blood. We really need fresh blood in the tag team division, because NXT's tag team division is skyrocketing, not just with the women's division, but with the men's division too.
Yeah, and I mean, I made the point with the Riot Squad. Like, why don't you have the titles on them, and then Ruby gets released? Like, it seems like they don't put enough emphasis on the women's tag team titles, and that's a shame.
They really don't put emphasis on the women themselves too. It's the same story, it's the same thing. Like, I give them all the respect in the world to do with what WWE gives them, but if WWE is not going to allow them to be themselves and to tell their stories, then it's going to feel that way.
Right. Agreed. As we move on to the Intercontinental United States Championship. Boy, where am I at today? Sheamus versus Damian Priest. I gotta say, I've enjoyed this feud, and man, do I expect a hard-hitting match. Sheamus really just got back and into wrestling since the injury, but I want to see Damian Priest get the win here, and that's who I think will get the win. Who do you guys have here?
I got Damian Priest on this.
Damian as well.
All right. Agreed all the way around. Damian Priest, you're a new United States champion. So we move on. The Mysterios. Where is JP at today? This is his time. Ray and Dom versus the Usos for the tag team championships of the world. And man, Dom, I've really come around to Dom. Like at first, I kind of looked at him, that's just Ray's son, but he's doing his thing, and I expect this to be a really fun match. Everybody keeps saying they're waiting on the Dom heel turn, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I got the Usos winning. Who you got?
Man, personally, as we were pretending to the Mysterio thing, like Ray's definitely gonna be passing the torch to the Prince Mysterio thing because he has the full-fledged trademark and everything. Personally, I think it's more of a good point to not just have Ray and Dominic turn heel and try to open that door of the LWO, but having some of the luchadors involved from Raw and SmackDown, be involved with them. Like really, it needs to make sense because Kalisto was gone. You still have Grand Metalik. You still have some of the others. But we definitely need an LWO faction or some type of faction within post WWE for the Mysterios.
Right.
Even with the tenure that Rey Mysterio had before he put up the mask.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead. You got it.
So, I have nothing against the Mysterios. They're amazing.
I feel
It's because my pick would be the Usos just based on story. I don't see the Usos giving up the championship titles just yet. I do think that because the Mysterios already won the championship titles, and if we know WWE, they might not give them a second run at it. So it was just like, father and son got it. Woohoo! All right, guys. The Usos are gonna keep it on SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's exactly. And we'll probably get rematch after rematch after rematch. Keeping up. But moving on, we have going to stick with the tag titles. AJ Styles and Almost versus RK Bro. And Lord, Riddle gets on my nerves. I'm sorry. I could be on an island on that one. But nevertheless, he begged Randy Orton and they're back together. My goodness. I got RK Bro winning the tag team championships. If you're going to go all the way with them, then go all the way with them. Who you got?
I need AJ and his partner to retain. I could care less about RK Bro. Randy Orton did not need to be paired with Matt Riddle. I just personally did not like the guy at all.
Me either.
It's just because I've been on the indies and all that shit, so the stuff that I know, personally I just don't like fucking Riddle. So anyway, AJ and his partner better retain.
Yes.
Man, AJ and Almost, I got AJ Styles and Almost retaining because honestly, it's like that's the annoyance and the constant irritation. And I can speak from experience with the annoying and with the annoyance and irritation of certain things, which periodically in my own life I can be irritating and annoying. But come on, seriously, it takes a cake with Riddle. It takes a cake with Riddle. I mean, he's like a damn child. He's like a damn child. He's like a man child, to be honest. I mean, at least put some respect on the man child persona, man. but don't be a damn stoner while you're doing it. Like, really,
Right.
Don't be a damn stoner while you're doing it, man. I mean, Rob can do that. Rob Van Dam is the best stoner wrestler.
I guess he's the GOAT. He all the faces on the Mount Rushmore of that.
Yeah. Plus Rob Van Dam actually advocates, not just for weed, but he actually owns, a dispensary. So there's that. Like really, don't be doing that. Don't be doing the old stoner gimmick and trying to advocate for RK Bro. Because really, at the end of the day, Randy's just going to betray Riddle at the end of the day.
Yeah, I feel that as well. Eventually, it'll go down that line again, and I guess we'll see how it turns out. We'll see. I expect a good match, but RK Bro winning that. Yeah, I'm sick of Riddle too, but I think they pull it off. As we move on, we got a legitimate dream match. Edge versus Seth Rollins, and I got to say, this either might be slightly behind Cena Roman or on the same path with Cena Roman as my favorite story of SummerSlam. Might be better than Edge Rollins. They told the story of Rollins not finishing the jab on Edge all those years ago. I expect a 4 or 5 star match here. This is the one that Edge finally wins. I got Edge winning. Who you got?
And I got winning because really the build-up has been seething. The build-up has been seething ever since the announcement back in Money in the Bank. I mean, come on, really? You have Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins, going nuts. You have Seth Rollins, doing everything that he can to get his championship back, to get his Universal Championship back. And I'm like, Seth really is obsessed with trying to beat, Adam Copeland, aka Edge. And I'm like, Edge really does need a victory, or Tyler Black needs a victory. It really depends on who you're pulling for. But for me, I'm pulling all the way to Edge because Edge really needs to shut Rollins up.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
Plain and fucking simple, man.
I have Edge winning just because, but we also have to look at it this way. If Edge wins, what's happening tomorrow? Is he going to show up tomorrow? On Friday or Monday? Whatever. If he's going to show up tomorrow, but Edge is picking up the win against Seth Rollins just because. But we also have to keep in mind if he's going to show up on the next episode of Raw or SmackDown, whichever one it is.
That is a fantastic point. The old guy can't get the win and just leave off into the wilderness. I feel you on that. As we move on, oh my God, we go from the story I'm most interested in to the story I'm least interested in. Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. And this has been a whole story of Doudrop being scared of Lily. And God, everyone in this whole story is just brought down. Alexa Bliss, Piper is brought down, Eva is brought down. Nevertheless, I got Eva Marie picking up the... you know what? I'm going to give it to Alexa Bliss. She's going to use her scare tactics to win. Who do you guys got?
Yeah, I got Alexa Bliss on this because really, it's actually funny. It's actually funny that the whole charm of Alexa Bliss's character, her evil character, the manipulation, and Lily, not just being a possessed doll, but actually being a somewhat of a possessed doll that has a mind of its own, and literally like scaring the living crap out of Doudrop, like really that's funny in Boys of One because not only with Doudrop, not only with Reggie, not only with Nia Jax, but swear to God, scaring the living crap out of Shayna Baszler all those years ago, like a couple of months ago, and I'm like, honestly, that's just funny in more ways than one. It's funny because you would never see this kind of thing happen. I mean, it's happened before, but not like this.
Right.
Not like this.
Yeah. And
I mean, Ultimate Warrior pulled the same thing with Hulk Hogan
In WCW?
years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, back in WCW. And now we're dealing with the same thing. And now we're dealing with the same kind of treatment, the same kind of scare tactics with Alexa Bliss and you know her various picks of superstars that she wants to scare.
Right.
I have Alexa Bliss going over just because.
Right. The scare tactics, Alexa Bliss. I think everybody's kind of exasperated by this one. So Alexa Bliss all around. We'll move on to Drew McIntyre. Final match of predictions. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. I don't have anything against this storyline, but the sword. Look, I can't get into Drew McIntyre in the sword unless he goes full Trunks, Dragon Ball Z. I need you to stab somebody. Like, stop playing around. Do it. That's what I want. It's kind of like they had
Trunks going full Super Saiyan Rage, going full Super freaking Saiyan. Oh my God! You're pulling a Dragon Ball Z kind of thing out of the hat. Even though Ronda Rousey has stated multiple times that she likes Dragon Ball Z and she likes, you know, Vegeta and Chris Shabby. Even though we just got the new chapter of Dragon Ball Super with Vegeta in his instinct of conquer form, and that was the reason why that Vegeta was trending on Twitter, but for all the wrong reasons, and people were going after Akira Toriyama because of the Vegeta thing.
Right. And McIntyre, man, the sword, Mahal. You know what? This one is the most tricky one for me because Jinder Mahal needs the victory. If I'm booking it, I'm gonna give it to Jinder Mahal. Who you guys got?
I'm giving it to Jinder as well because honestly, he desperately needs a W, man. He desperately needs that W.
I'm gonna go with Jinder as well, only because you had mentioned that Drew McIntyre needs to go full on Trunks. So like, I want this chase to happen, right? I want Jinder to win and Drew McIntyre continues to go until he finally gets his Trunks moment.
They can edit that somehow. They got Rey Mysterio's eye to pop out. They can edit it.
I mean, come on. You're putting anime references in wrestling with Austin Creed and up, down, down. You put video game references with the New Day. I mean, it makes sense because video games, anime, and wrestling go
hand in hand. There you go.
I'm take that because that's probably the most creative thing I've ever heard. Let Drew McIntyre lose Trunks moment.
Yes.
Please.
We want it.
Please do it for me. Please tag me and Too Sweet on this. Really this crap right now.
Oh man, full Trunks. As we move on, we're gonna jump into a little bit of Dynamite, not the whole show. But we started off last night, AEW Dynamite, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston's coming down, Wild Thing. And as it would turn out, 2.0 wasn't having it. They attacked Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. And we had 2.0 versus Sting and Darby. In what was a pretty fun match. The crowd was going wild. I'm not a big fan of Sting no-selling table spots. Nevertheless, Sting Darby picked up the win. What did you guys think?
The instant return has brought back so many memories for me back in the TNA stint with Sting, with the icon Sting, and dear God, it makes a lot of sense because having Tony Schiavone, I love Tony. I love Schiavone. I don't care what anybody says. But I love it when he says Sting. I just love it when he goes that far. But
Yes.
swear to God, the table spot was undeniably a no-sell, and for at least a good reason because of it. Because it was his return to the ring for 20 plus years, even in the tag match, even having a young upstart, a young stinger like Darby,
Yeah.
who definitely puts his body on the line, not just with
Oh
the
God,
stinger.
yes.
I mean, come on. Darby definitely, needs his redemption. And if we see Sting and Darby go after the tag team titles, oh man,
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be legendary though, because shout out to my nephew Braden, love you kid. Literally, my nephew Braden absolutely loves Darby.
That is really cool, man. That's really cool.
So I didn't manage to catch. I was on someone else's podcast yesterday. So I totally missed it, but I did see the clip of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And immediately I tweeted out, "Yo, it's indie Sting. Yo, it's Sting transformed into indie Sting," because that's what happens on the indies, man. You take a bump to a table, you get that like nothing happening, you go on to the spot. And I was like, yo. So like throughout the years of Sting, right? Sting is the only wrestler that's gonna have an asterisk next to his name. And people are gonna be like, what does that mean? So we went from Surface Sting to NWO Sting to Wolfpack Sting to Icon Sting to Joker Sting.
Yeah.
And now number 6, it's Indie Sting.
Indie Sting.
But the icing on the cake was the double scorpion death drop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pop for that.
The double scorpion death drop, double scorpion death lock. Oh my God, that's never been done. Double scorpion death lock has never been done. What the hell?
I pop for that. And can I just say that every time Sting gets into the ring, I become a little stinger, because that is my all-time favorite. First thing I remember about wrestling, Sting trying to fight the Four Horsemen. That's my first memory of wrestling.
Oh man.
So yeah, always happy to see the Stinger. Always happy. As we move on, man, the first hour of Dynamite was probably the best first hour of this whole year. Shawn Spears versus Sammy Guevara. Man, this is a hell of a match. What's up?
I'm sorry, I just joined here, and
What's up, man?
Just getting the gist of your space thing here. A lot of people forget Shawn Spears has been in WWE twice.
Yeah.
At this point, I have to say his career is the best I've seen him.
In AEW?
In that organization.
Currently in AEW?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm seeing the best Shawn Spears of all time right now.
Yeah,
I have to agree. Because Shawn Spears, in and of itself, even though he's Canadian as well, along with
but I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that
I know what you mean. Because really the context of what Shawn Spears had said during his promo was completely uncalled for in character, but when it works for his character, like really, like Sammy, doing his proposal before Dynamite, and that was a very good indication of a good direction towards the match that we had, with Sammy actually picking up the victory, thus not only getting a good luck kiss before the match, but also after the match. And it makes sense.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I noticed that Shawn Spears, and I gotta mention Chirs Jericho in this part of the conversation also, that they are both probably the best people to put other people over in a match.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I would like to see Shawn Spears pick up a few more wins, but like, he is money. Like, if you need a good match, if you need a great match, and it's like we need somebody out there, Shawn Spears is a great candidate. Can I just mention that 630 that Sammy did, to where he had to adjust mid-air, was just sick, man. It was sick. And a lot of spots here in this match was sick. Sammy Guevara picks up the win. And the crowd was just on fire. On fire, man.
Dude, Houston in and of itself was just a lightning bolt waiting to happen. Even with almost the victory with Jurassic Express, that match in and of itself was bonkers to an extent. But literally, as I go to the main event, you have MJF.
Let's touch on Bucks and Jungle Express, and then we can go to MJF and Jericho.
What match was there?
Bucks and Jungle Express. This was another just crazy match, to where they legitimately had me thinking, oh man, the Jungle Express is about to win here. That was like 3 or 4 times in that match where I thought it was over. Nevertheless, too much interference for my taste. Like, I don't like the whole 5 people holding the referee for like 3-4 minutes while the spot happens. I'm not a big fan of that. The Bucks pick up the victory. What do you guys think?
On that, because to me, it's like the whole narrative, all that stuff is starting to be done to death. Okay, no, but I do agree with. See, wrestling, in my opinion, like, I'm an old man here, so
Same here.
Wrestling is supposed to make the crowd believe, okay, I'm going to win the match. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to provide an escape from reality for the people, for the masses, and stuff like that. It's supposed to be about making the fans happy.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And Bucks pick up the victory, and I'm just at a point where it's time for the Bucks to lose the belts at the next pay-per-view. That's where I'm at on that.
Yeah. Honestly, with Jurassic Express, being as popular as they are, I mean, you have Luke Perry's beloved son, Jack Perry, being over in a good way. I mean,
oh yeah,
my dude absolutely plays his theme like to death on Instagram. Shout out to you guys. But come on, it makes sense because it's so over that it's fun. That it's fun that the crowd gets into it. I mean,
yes, the crowd loves Jungle Boy, and when that theme hit, they explode, man. They explode.
They explode in a
I do agree with the thoughts on Jungle Boy. I find that him and Shawn Spears are probably 2 of the most underrated wrestlers there are out there.
Oh yes, I totally agree with that. As we move on, speaking of Houston being on fire, MJF versus Chirs Jericho, and I joked around last week and yesterday. I said, "Watch, they're gonna sing it a cappella," and I'll be darned if they didn't.
I mean, that was beautiful.
I'll be darned if everybody isn't in tune singing that the whole way down. That was incredible.
Look at this smile brother Chirs Jericho's face too. Like,
I'd be singing it. Once Too Sweet brought up this tweet. I think about yesterday.
Yeah.
Dude, you did it without the track and without the beat. You did it a cappella.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, it works. It works because honestly, seriously, that really works in so many ways because we need a lot more people to have acapella with, whether it's Jungle Boy's theme, whether it's Chirs Jericho's theme. I mean, Even if it's Sean Spears' theme.
Yeah.
Josiah Williams. Shout out again to Josiah. After last week, keep doing what you're doing, brother. We respect you, and we are behind you 100%.
Yes,
Agreed.
indeed. I gotta agree with that. To the match, MJF and Jericho, the crowd was all over Chris Jericho, man. Everything, the line saw, the top rope, Hurricane Rana, all over Jericho. But at the end of the day, MJF picks up the victory. And I remember we had this conversation last week, who should win. And from a storyline perspective, we all said Jericho. But from a overall wrestling perspective, the younger guys should win. And MJF picked up the victory and in a fun match. What did you guys think?
So, I did check out your tweet, yesterday, and literally, it definitely did make sense. It definitely did make sense because really, most people would say, "Oh, you're putting over, the vet is putting over the young guy, or the young guy is putting over the vet." People would start, going all over the place on social media and start bashing Chris Jericho,
Right.
like not putting over MJF, but Jericho actually doing the right thing and winning cleanly and putting over MJF, even with Aubrey, having her hands tied with MJF,
yeah.
and the ring, and then you have Jericho and Floyd, the baseball bat. Great match.
It goes for the fact that Chris Jericho and John Spears are probably two of the best people on any roster in any company to put people over. If you want somebody put over, you talk to Sean Spears or Chris Jericho, and it's done.
They make him look like $1 million bucks.
What do you want to say about this?
Alright, so like I said before, I didn't really see it, so I'm not really too sure on the match. But the finish, I heard that he tapped out, right?
Chris Jericho tapped out.
So to me, I would have to see it to experience like if it was the right call for him to tap out. But just looking at it from a creative standpoint, right, it kind of takes away from all of the hard work Jericho had to go through in order to get to MJF, right? It does not help him that on this last match, Jericho had to tap out to MJF. While MJF can brag to Jericho and said, "Yeah, I made you tap," but it kind of like deflates everything that Jericho went through, all the wins that Jericho went through. And I think that if it was like maybe a knockout, where basically Jericho didn't have to tap, but he got knocked out somehow and ended up the match had to be stopped and give the win to MJF. It would still put MJF over because he could still brag about it. I just didn't like the fact that they had Jericho tap because then everything else is just like, what's the point of him going through the labors of Jericho? What's the point of that?
Well, the thing is about that, and I agree with what you're saying, but a lot of people are forgetting that Jericho is in his 50s, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. He's probably on his way out.
He has tour dates
right?
Yeah.
He has tour dates.
Yeah. So I could see the tap out doing that because, okay, he's got tour days with Fozzy, and like Fozzy is phenomenal. They have opened up for Jackson. They've opened up for Judas Priest. I mean, you just don't get that overnight.
Yeah. Yep. Nevertheless, Chris Jericho tapped out. I agree with you. A knockout, like a knockout, a UFC type knockout, that would have worked for me too. That would have worked for me.
Imagine if MJF did the Judas effect on Jericho to knock him out.
Well, he
made more sense to me.
He did do the Judas effect, but it didn't knock him out. Yeah, he hit him with the Judas effect.
Well, why couldn't that be the finisher?
Yeah, that would have been a nice finish.
Why can't that be the finish?
But heading out to the injury, but heading insult to injury with the salt of the earth.
Okay. I was like, where's he going with this? By the way, AEW should definitely pick me up. I would have been like, yo, leave the footage as the Judas effect. That would be better.
Exactly, because I'm saying the same thing. Like really, that needs to make sense. And word of advice for the referees: keep Tully Blanchard from interfering. Keep Tully Blanchard away from interfering in FTR's matches, in John Spears matches, and keep the damn Elite away from the ring.
The apron. Yes.
Yeah. What? Man, come on.
I didn't understand about last night's card, period, and it made no sense to me as Taz talking to his son, who is only good for kicking people when they're down. I have not seen him wrestle yet.
Right. I mean, he had that. I think he had a tag match with Cody, and that's about it.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's the way that. See, what it is, you got pretty much all the original a lot of the original Four Horsemen in AEW, right? At this point, it's like they're trying to keep the memory of the Four Horsemen alive.
Right.
Yeah.
It's done. It's over. Let it die slowly and
peacefully. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And
yeah, but come on, it totally makes sense. Once we go on to our next topic,
I say, speaking of the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Okay.
Oh my God.
Y'all want to talk about Ric Flair in AAA, AAA, or Space Mountain?
We'll do that first and get the Space Mountain in a couple of seconds, okay?
Okay, it was Andrade. Okay, I come back from my niece's birthday party, and I forget that AAA was on that night. It was Andrade and Kenny Omega. Sorry about that. And I see a picture of Ric Flair. As soon as I open up Twitter, I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" And then I see Ric Flair. Huh?
I'm confused here as to which Ric Flair thing we're talking about.
Andrade, when he accompanied Andrade to the ring, versus Omega.
Legendary chops.
Yeah, legendary chops to Omega. What did you guys think?
Oh my God! Let me break that down. Let me get my crap out of the way. But oh my God! That in of itself, when I saw that, oh my God! When I saw the gif, like oh my God! That is a huge future father and son moment right there. That is a huge
Heck yes.
Father-in-law, son-in-law type deal. We need more of that. We need to see more of that.
Yeah.
I agree with that, brother. I really do, man.
Yeah. I like the fact that in 2021, Ric Flair was giving chops to the best mountain machine, Kenny Omega. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. But my whole attention was on Resurgence, so I just managed to catch whatever Twitter was telling me about Triple H. So I was not, like, multitasking.
Right.
I laughed last night, and I have to digress and go back a little bit. When they showed the match between Jericho and MJF, out of nowhere, I'm hearing my daughter, who's 28 years old, and she's singing Chirs Jericho's theme song, and I'm going with it.
Yeah. You've done a great job, sir. You've done a great job.
Man, shout out to your daughter, being a Chirs Jericho fan, even at his age, he's still being the GOAT that he is. He's still being the greatest of all time that he is.
He's still reaching kids, man.
100% agree.
Wow. Yes, indeed. And well, Kenny Omega picked up the victory, and let me just say that when I was a kid, Ric Flair used to call himself the dirtiest player in the game. And well, well, I get on Twitter, and Ric Flair is doing something suggestive on a train. Yeah, now.
Beside the person in the photo, did they notice the doctor bag sitting there?
Well,
doctor back?
I didn't see that. Well, Ric Flair, I missed that. Ric Flair denied that it was him, but I normally ask, what do you guys think? So, what do you guys think of this?
I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you good?
I gotta watch my language here.
You good?
You're good. You're good.
We're good.
Yeah, he's for years always been able to tie to Ric Flair is him and Space Mountain.
Oldest ride, longest line.
It is the longest line, man. To do it on the train, man. That's probably the longest train ever.
And see, I was like, well, if Ric Flair is a limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun, what is he doing on a train? That's
It's the right things.
yeah.
Like I told you in the background, if your presenter were eating out, why not?
Fact.
You're gonna eat out right? What happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just getting a little vulgar there. I was just. I digress. I'm
Ric
sorry.
Flair, man. Ric Flair, man. He is that dude and more relevant somehow than most wrestlers are in the midst of the world.
You know, a lot of people think they're Ric Flair not. That's in his 70s, and he's more relevant now than he has been through his whole career. I mean, look at all the artists that he's appeared in videos with.
Yeah.
Hip-hop artists and everything. Look at all the basketball teams that's going, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the funny thing in all of this, I was just scrolling Twitter, but the ladies was sticking up for Ric Flair. I seen a tweet, Ric Flair is 70 years old, what's y'all's excuse?
If I can be like that at his age, I'll be happy.
Yeah, Ric Flair living his life, man. As
He deserves to live his life the way he wants, the way he sees it, because he is the man.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all.
he's always been doing whatever he wants. He just obviously slows down on like the drinking and shit, but he's still, the dirtiest player in the game. If he needs to be called upon, he's gonna be there.
oh man, as we segue, go ahead. As we segue into the final topic of the day, what a final two. We're going to talk about a few matches from New Japan Resurgence. What a pay-per-view. Man.
It is show of the year. It is show and pay-per-view of the year.
I'm in the same position as Marie. I'm part of the podcast, Wrestle Buddy podcast and all this stuff, and therefore I'm kind of like, I'm in the podcast, this pay-per-view was going on, and I'm going, shit.
Yep. We're just going to jump into a few of those matches. Jon Moxley usually was the guest tag team partner. They took on the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers got the dub. And man, for one, New Japan needs to get with the times and get wireless mics and not wire mics, because the mics are just going out on Carl Anderson. But nevertheless,
I'm going to tell you that the freaking report is going to be Dick Togo, stopping the microphone for Carl Anderson talking, because Carl Anderson talks a lot of shit on Twitter and can't back it up.
Nevertheless, God comes down to Gorilla's Destiny, and we have one of the first face-offs of the Elite and the Bullet Club, and you can just feel it happening. And what do you guys think of that? The possible God versus Good Brothers face-off, the possible Elite, shall I say, Bullet Club face-off. What do you guys think about the whole thing?
Well,
It's not
me,
even
I'm OG.
okay, go ahead.
OG Bullet Club.
Go ahead.
For me, I'm OG Bullet Club all the way because they have a numbers game.
Which OG Bullet Club are you talking about, though?
There's a lot of them.
Well, I mean, I'm being specific, not just with Prince Devitt, but with Tama and Switchblade. Mainly those two.
So wait, did you put AJ Styles in there too?
Yeah, I'm putting AJ in there too.
Is that it's already been done in other organizations?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm talking specifically, WWE has a propensity for like doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the full club stuff is one of them.
Right.
So, yeah, I kind of agree with them going back to New Japan and doing that there.
Yeah. That's because New Japan owns the Bullet Club name, so like whatever we got in WWE was just like water.
Yes.
Water inside. But yeah, man, I was excited for it. I kind of knew that GOD would show up. Just because I was in a happy hour with the Tama Island gang, so I just kind of figured. But Carl Anderson started all this shit. If he wasn't talking shit on Twitter to Tama and saying that he wants to slap him one, Tama would probably have not shown up and let it ride out a little bit more. But Carl Anderson talks a lot of shit. It didn't really happen. Tama allowed him to try to like slap him, but that didn't work. But it's gonna be a really nice feud. I think Tama's going to bring back the firing squad, which, you know, if he needs soldiers, I'm down for it.
Yeah. I'm with it too.
And speaking of Bullet Club and the Elite, you know, honestly, for me, I'm OG Bullet Club all the way, no matter which Bullet Club we talking about. But literally with me and a voice actor, named Eric Keemer. Shout out to Eric. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I respect you, and I will help you with your Discord server, the Dub Club, because we are too sweet.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are. And
on the independent circuits down there. Are you guys any independent circuits down there? I should say.
Well, I mean, I am. I'm part of like the whole, I'm part of the whole like independent scene.
Yeah, because I keep up with some of the indies, but it's mainly through videos and stuff like that.
Same here.
Yeah, because I usually watch stuff when I get a chance.
I'm looking for people to for my team, right?
Sure, man. I mean, you could just DM me if you want me on your show. I have like a lot more stories to tell, a lot more stuff, and you can also get Too Sweet on there too.
Right, I'm available throughout the weekdays.
You can follow me at the Red Cupid 61 on Twitter, and we will definitely get on the ball on that for sure. Cool.
As we, same here.
Wow. I'll phone you back after the show's done.
As we move on, David Finlay versus Jay White. This one was a fun match, and this was another one where, like, wrestling is a funny thing. I knew going in, okay, Jay White is going to win the match. But somehow they got me to believe that David Finlay was going to win that match multiple times. I believed it. And at the end of the day,
to be about. And I find they don't do that enough.
Yeah, that's why
No.
That's why when you have Jay and Finley, I always look forward to their matches because each and every single time that they fight, there's a different story in there. It's not the same story that you'll get last time, like in the New Japan Cup all the way in March. Obviously, Chirs Jericho was like super overconfident, and that's what got him to like lose all of a sudden. And then in this one, it was like David Finley was very frustrated, and you can see that he was frustrated. You can get on his side because everybody has always been against Finley his whole entire career. And it's not because he sucks. He's fucking fantastic. It's just that he hasn't broken out to where like he could be that star that he knows he is. There's just something holding him back, and I'm not sure what it is. So that match, like, I loved it from start to finish. The story was great in there. Jay was great, and of course Jay always attacking, the specific body parts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Trying to get the upper hand. As far as story-wise goes, no one really does it better than like Jay and Finley.
Yes, they are fantastic storytellers.
And it's funny, they learned this. They all learned this from their fathers. I mean, you got Taz, his son's getting involved now.
Yeah.
And his son's getting involved.
Yeah.
His daughter.
Yeah. Santino's daughter is getting into the game.
If we're smart, the children of these legends will get together and form their own, let's say, like Bullet Club or group or what have you, man.
Oh, man.
It would pay off like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Girls club. We need a girls club. We need a girls club. I don't care. We need a girls club. How about Rey Mysterio's daughter?
That's JP.
Because she's pretty. Wouldn't be any more songs, boss. So what I don't understand is the push that Dominic is getting. I kind of almost disagree with it to a certain extent because he really hasn't been there that long.
No,
He hasn't.
The only reason why he is where he is because of his dad.
Right.
it's because of the legacy that not only his father has, but also his godfather has as well. Because of this, the only other thing is, Dominic is still a big green, but at least he's trying. To get everything done with. But at least he's trying to lose with grace sometimes. But he does need to at least back up a bit. He needs to back up and try to have some restraint in all that.
But
Well,
He's only 6 feet tall, guys.
I did appreciate the way that they did welcome Dominic into the fold, shall we say. That guy took a lot of kendo strikes, okay?
I mean, when Brock Lesnar just mauled the little dude, or he's not little, but he just mauled poor Dominic in one of them segments.
He's 6'1" and 200 pounds. He's not poor anything.
But Brock Lesnar is a freaking monster.
Yeah. See, the problem is you're all looking at Dominic as if he's still the same child, like from the
Eddie Guerrero.
By Pappy, right?
Yeah.
Technically for me, I'm not that kind of dude. I'm looking at Dominic. I'm looking at Dominic Mysterio, aka Prince Mysterio, as his own kid, as his own wrestler.
Right.
But I'm also looking at him as the son of Rey Mysterio, the legitimate son of Rey Mysterio, which the only reason that Dominic is getting this far in his career is not just because of his dad and not just because of the training that he's had with James Eagle, Team 3D and Ray Phoenix, but it's because he has that drive and everybody knows it, but people are not taking Dominic seriously.
Yeah. Well,
I guess that's what I was driving at, and I went about it the wrong way. So kudos
It's okay.
to you, brother.
It's okay. We got one more match to hop into from New Japan Resurgence. Tanahashi versus Lance Archer. United States Championship.
Tanahashi, my goodness. He pulled out a miracle. Against Lance Archer.
Wild man.
This was a fun match, man. And I guess Tanahashi hit the frog splash. I wasn't expecting the match to end there, but it ended right there. He picks up the win. And not only that, Archer challenged Tanahashi to come to AEW, and Tanahashi promised that he would. And I popped for that.
Yeah, amen. It's literally from my perspective, I definitely love Lance Archer because I've actually said a Bible verse to him one time on Twitter, and honestly, and I would definitely do it because I sent him a GIF not too long ago. But literally the Bible thing with Lance Archer and I, that's prevalent to us as humans because with God's grace and everything, we all need to
Right.
be good Christians and everything. No matter if we're a part of jolly old England or the great state of Canada or even the semi-great state of the US of A.
Right.
Ireland,
And-
which you're feeling about.
Yes,
Exactly.
Ireland as well, sir. And Archer is
Constitution based. Isn't the Constitution of the U.S. and Canada based on the Bible kind of thing?
Yes, it is. It is good, sir.
Actually, I'm just gonna say that America is just crap sometimes. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
History is very convoluted. So
Yeah.
just don't ask. I'm sorry.
It's very touchy feely. It's very touchy feely with the whole African American slavery thing and the Black Lives Matter thing and how cops are being treated and all that. I mean,
right.
that whole thing.
But go ahead.
Go ahead, Marie.
I'm just gonna be like, look, man. If you treat me with respect and I treat you with respect, and we're cool. That's all I care about. I don't care, whatever you are, whatever you experience. As long as there's respect between us, we're good.
Right. Amen on that one.
And it's not given. A lot of people think they deserve respect. No, dude, you gotta earn it.
Yes, I agree on that one. As we got.
It's
We got.
I said, I'm wondering, can somebody explain to me whether Lance Archer was a heel or a face this week?
Oh my God!
He was a heel.
He's a face in AEW, but he's like a heel in New Japan.
There you go.
Do you not think that his credibility, they're flipping him too often?
Yes.
I agree with that. You can't be a face with Jake the Snake in your corner. I agree with that.
You can't be a monster either,
I've never seen Jake back in the day, man.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, I'm going to fantasy book something for you, right? So, Jake, if you remember a couple of months ago, there was a promo where Lance Archer literally tore the t-shirt off Jake's back. And there was one or two promos that almost looked like elder abuse, that he was kind of pushing him around the place. So my fantasy booking is Archer's going to be out there someday, having won a big match. Jake is going to turn around, and when Archer turns his back, the artist formerly known as Braun Strowman, Adam Scherr, comes into the ring with a bag and a snake on his shoulder, and he's going to beat Lance Archer down, and Jake is going to say, "This is the protege I wanted, not the one I got."
That
makes sense.
Jake saying Mark Blue, and then you have your booking there straight away. You have Braun Strowman, big, fights Lance Armstrong, and Jake the Snake is the evil spokesperson. There you go.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
I'm not being a dick or anything, but the name JD Quinn is ringing a bell here, and I'm trying to figure out from where.
There's a lot of people called the same name.
Yeah.
That would do it then. That would do it.
There is. I doubt very much we know each other, seeing as I'm in Cork in the Republic of Ireland, and you are. Where are you?
I'm in Canada.
Yeah, I doubt very much that our paths have crossed, but there is an American football player called JP Quinn.
Yeah.
I'm thinking wrestler.
No, there was a John Quinn wrestler though in the 1950s.
Oh wow.
John Quinn was his name. Yeah. He was from, Pluskipy or Plukiski. Is that Pluskipy? Is that how you pronounce it?
Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, that's where he's from.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to one. Let's do two more topics and then we're out of here. CM Punk could possibly be debuting on Rampage. Let me tell y'all something. If CM Punk if we get through that 1 hour and CM Punk don't show up, Tony Khan needs to go on witness protection because it's gonna be outrage.
Actually, hold on. If that happens, we take Tony Khan to Twitter court.
Please.
Yes.
Marie, if you can get Dr. Steels, if you can get
the whole thing. No, I'll tweet it out. I'll be like, no, Twitter court. We'll take Tony to the Twitter court if CM Punk doesn't show up. Well, I don't like CM Punk. I don't give a shit.
The only thing that pisses me off about this is that everybody's concentrating on the return of CM Punk, and they're not. I find his return is overshadowing Bryan Danielson, and I think that's completely wrong.
Yes. But literally, we definitely need the American Dragon back. But we don't know how long he has left. But I know for a fact if we have the American Dragon versus the Omega, oh my God, that would be a dream match that I would want to see so bad.
Right. I would want that to happen. I would want Hangman to beat Adam Page for the title, and then I'd love to see a Bryan Danielson versus Omega.
I'd like to see another version of Bryan Danielson and CM Punk.
I won't put them against each other. I think the whole point of bringing them in is to build up the younger people. So why would you put two guys from a different era against each other when you can get much more out of the likes of Danielson against the likes of MJF or Punk against Darby Allin? We don't need to see the same stuff we've seen before on the other channel. What you need to see is variations of these people coming in, fighting the homegrown fighters. The Chicago Bears played the Miami Dolphins the other night, and the NFL Network, Adam Rank, doing commentary on it, announced during the middle of the game. He said that Chicago Bears rookie quarterback Justin Fields' debut was the most anticipated debut in Chicago until that is Friday night when CM Punk shows up in AEW.
They're all talking about it, and you know what? I kind of wish we didn't know. Like, had we not known that CM Punk was showing up, and he would have just showed up, my God! But
they want people to know because I think they want to get as close to the SmackDown rating, if not more.
Right.
Just like with Raven, a couple of years ago. Just like with Raven a couple of years ago when he showed up in AEW.
Right.
When he was in the crowd.
I miss Raven.
Oh, me too. Me too, man.
Too.
I was going to mention that AEW has been playing with us the whole entire time with all like the little hints dropping and stuff like that. But we got to remember the freaking dirt sheets are the one that started the rumor.
Right.
If AEW is not going to confirm or deny, we got to blame the dirt sheets and take them to the court too.
Yes, I gotta agree.
You know the things like.
Which dirt sheet we talking about? Miz and Morrison, or
the other dirt sheets that people love to go to for any little freaking detail, that like whether it's a lie or not. Like, you know, Miz and Morrison, imagine taking them to the Twitter court. Hey Miz,
Marie, the weird thing is that I've been a part of the Twitter court thing before, but that was with one of the guys with Tasha Steelz and D'Lo Brown and Big Swole.
Faith.
That was the one that I was a part of.
Is that Faith Jackson?
Jackson one. Because he was in that. And also Xavier Woods.
Yes. Honestly, tag me for a Twitter court thing, because really I need to get my say in all this. I need to get my say in all that.
Well, you can't really do it unless you're a part of the defense and like everything else, dude. Like not everyone's talking it.
Even if I'm a part of the prosecution.
Oh yeah, he is, baby.
Even if I'm a part of the prosecution, like
he's going to show up anywhere.
Like really, I need to be a part of the prosecution or at least the dang jury.
I mean, you gotta be friends. You gotta be friends with one of them and let them know. But it depends. If somebody does something out of line, that's the only reason why you take them to Twitter court.
Well,
somebody take Vince McMahon to Twitter court for killing next, so please.
Right there, yes.
I'm for NXT. It feels like you like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we could do a mock trial. We could do the best McMahon voice.
You're fired.
We could just fucking
Yeah.
I can actually get my buddy Hybrid Enigma on that, and literally all of us could get on that and try to do our best, Vince McMahon or McMahon, impression.
Well, nevertheless,
we have our last.
They're getting ready to sell WWE anyway.
well, if it's Tony Khan or Vince McMahon, I'm a part of the prosecution. I'm telling you that much.
Oh man,
I'm part of the prosecution as well.
yeah.
I'd like to defend Tony Khan, so there you go. Thank you.
All right, we got something.
That's fine. Me, I'll be like, yo, when are you gonna hire writers? Why are you not hiring more people?
They've advertised for a creative head this week.
Right.
What?
AEW have advertised for a head of creative programming.
Really?
Oh my god. Wait, are you talking about wait, I think I've seen that floating around, but I don't think it's for the AEW program. It's for the other ones.
For the reality shows and stuff, is it?
I think it's for that like sub-division of AEW rather than like AEW the show. But
That's a bad way to start, though, Marie.
I know, it's not. Thank you, JD.
Yes, indeed.
If you do the road to the top, writing stuff, that would be really awesome.
Right.
Because let's face it, Cody Rhodes could do with somebody to write a promo for him that actually makes sense. Retiring the other night, he said something along the lines of, all he ever wanted to do was win the title that my daddy at the Garden, and he never won the title. He never won a title at the Garden.
Right.
Yeah.
But well, I guess that's the final topic of the week.
And also on the side note, before we close out, we have breaking news in the anime industry with Funimation and Sony finalizing the acquisition of Crunchyroll and people are freaking pissed, and I'm saying this within the anime community as a fan of the anime community. I'm kind of indifferent about the whole thing because literally I know the changes of script writing or lines and all that stuff will keep on happening because of the political side of everything.
What are the biggest changes with that acquisition that'll take place?
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, what will be the biggest changes?
Ooh, the biggest changes will have to be not just the script writing, but it'll also have to be the dialogue changes as well, because everybody is, kind of saying that it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea for Funimation and Sony to do dialogue changes and raise the prices for their subdivision and everything. But literally, most people have to look at the bright side of this. And even though we're getting a lot more anime out of this, and a lot more studios are getting involved because of it, we're getting a lot more studios involved. But not just Aniplex, not just Studiopolis, not just Sentai, but yes, just those two major ones, which is Studiopolis and Aniplex. Those two recording studios, those two studios in and of itself, that recorded, Naruto and even Kill la Kill. It's like everybody is trying to defend, Funimation because of what they're doing, because of My Hero Academia, because of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, the series after the political stunt that they pulled back in 2016, and everybody was still trying to go over this problem with the Vic situation, and everybody was like, my friends from Robo Knight, shout out to him, to my buddy Zero, shout out to him. It's like those two guys couldn't keep their mouth shut about this Rick problem, and really everybody in Funimation were trying to sweep this under the rug, and they're still trying to sweep this under the rug, including with the Todd situation as well. But Todd Habercorn is still getting roles. He's still going to conventions. But everybody's like, everybody's trying to save face with this whole thing.
Right.
But I've been friends with some of these voice actors, like meeting them and being all nice. But in all honesty, for the fans out there, for the fans of anime, just don't get involved with these voice actors, because you know for a fact you're gonna get disappointed whether or not, because if you start drama with them, then that's on you.
Right.
I don't.
Right. And to that point, man, new acquisition, and man, I'll tell you this much. I gotta hop into next week so we can do the anime corner. I got to hop into For Your Eternity, that anime. I gotta catch up to where you are, so that next week we can talk about some episodes on that.
Yeah. Can I ask a question before we go?
Yes.
Go ahead. Just going back to wrestling, we're on episode 125.
Yes.
Has anybody found me a decent Rey Mysterio match yet?
Oh crap! I keep forgetting.
I am not looking for that.
Because there's not one that stands out in your mind that you could use.
Oh, Rey Mysterio Eddie is one that's just the all-time classic.
That WCW when Rey Mysterio won that
Yeah.
What about the Mexican death match between Rey Mysterio and Psicosis?
Oh, dude.
Another one.
I'm gonna watch both those matches.
Oh yes. You never seen Rey Mysterio Eddie at Halloween Havoc?
I tell you what you do, right? Is you tweet me those matches the years and I'll watch them.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. That is it for episode 125. We'll be back next Thursday. The landscape of wrestling could be completely different by the time we're here next week. I cannot wait. So thank you guys for coming through. And I'll at you guys whenever I post this on Twitter. Put out big thanks to you guys. Yes. Yes, indeed.
That was the funny part because I was clicking on the names. We already follow each other.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Hey, man, the door is always open every week if you want to come in. We're always around the same time.
Have a good week, guys. God bless.
All right.
Keep walking, everybody.
All right. Take care.